Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we have the brand new Force in front of us today. Everybody has been waiting to get a hold of this gun and shoot it. I was lucky enough to test one out a couple weeks ago, but now we have an actual run of the gun right here. This isn't a prototype. This has got all end parts in it. This one actually is for sale right here. So let's go ahead and look at it. We'll open it up. This is production run box, everything like that. So obviously the box looks super nice. You can see around the edges here what we've got on the side, all the things that the gun is coming with. And then it does have a magnetic front, so it just pops open and lifts over. Inside here you are going to get a little patch that says the Force, and that's stuck to the inside right there. The cool design about this box is it opens a little bit right here. Now I don't know if it was meant to do that. Maybe mine is just not sticky anymore. But it does give it a little bit of flex, which I kind of like. Well, I'm looking at the front here. I don't know if that's supposed to do that. It looks like these are supposed to be stuck together like that. But even if it wasn't, I like the fact that it kind of gives you a spot to get your hand down in there and pull the product out of there. Whether it is or not, I don't know. I like it the way it is. Let's put that off to the side over here, and let's look inside here. So Field 1 gun case does have a little slot for some ID on there. Looks like it's got some hooks to put a strap on, and I'm pretty sure, like the other bag, it has a strap inside of it. On the outside, it does have a little bit of a slot where you can slide something down on the inside here. Nice, good protective outside to the case. Let's open it up. I'll spin it around here. So in this side, we've got the strap for the gun case, a barrel sleeve. We have this little baggie of parts right here, plus our warranty card or tech card information. So inside this little baggie has got the two LiPo batteries that are inside here, plus the adapter to charge it. So these are optional inside the gun. So the way the gun comes set up inside here right now, it's running on two AA batteries in the front foregrip. If you don't want to run that way, you can put these in its place and run a lithium battery inside the frame. So up to you. Yeah, inside the frame. Because that wouldn't definitely reach. As far as barrels, AccuLock backs, we've got 691 and 683 on our tip and our back right there. And then we have inside this little cubby, we've got some grease. Field 1 Pro Lube. We've got a parts kit, which is pretty extensive. We'll look at that in just a second. And then we've got these, which are little quick start guides for a bunch of different stuff. We've got an AccuLock barrel quick start guide. We've got, this is like trigger adjustment, how to do it, regulator maintenance, all the way through there. And then parts that are gonna be inside the regulator, things you might need. These are all O-ring specifications right here. Next card is how to clean your eyes, how to deal with your eyes, what the board is telling you, how to replace your battery in the front, how to switch to the lithium battery. What we got over here? This is bolt engine maintenance and assembly. The engine is called the nucleus engine. And on the back side, it has a little diagram of all your O-ring positions, what's going where. We've got, this one is just how to attach your tank on there, how to adjust your feed neck clamp, and then also how to adjust your regulator. So a lot of handy little cards in there, which are super, super nice when it comes to parts, what goes where, what kind of O-ring do I need. Now this parts kit right here, when I got it and pulled it out, I was like, uh-oh, what's gonna be all over the place when I open this thing up? But I was happily surprised when you open it up, everything's got a nice little divider in here, and each of these dividers flips up so that you can get to whatever is inside of there. So nothing's gonna get lost inside here. Plus, you've got little cards that tell you exactly what everything is inside of here. Where did I put the other? Oh, it's just flipped over. I'm like, I know there was more than one. So this side is for this side, and then this side is for the stuff that's inside of here. So O-rings, new reg seats, some Allen keys, some screws, everything you're gonna need to service your gun yourself. I like this little kit right here. I like the way it's designed, that little thing. Having all those little flip-up sections is super cool. like that. I knew I was going to sneeze. All right, here it is, what everybody's wanted to see. All right. Now, I had a gun a little while ago, and the screen, it had a different screen on there. You can see I was messing around with this one a minute ago. So this is all production run again. So the screen information is going to look the way it does. It says F1 on there. It beeps at you when you turn it on and off. Shows you the eye display. I like the 4C eye display on here, where I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It's going to go out of focus, but it actually has two little circles now at the top for the upper eye section and the lower eye section. And it will tell you when a ball is blocked that upper section and then the lower section as well, which that's the little things, right? So here we have our clamping feed neck. Pretty straightforward when it comes to clamping feed necks on there. And it is a clamp style on the body, so it is not a thread-in style feed neck, which is great. I love the styling of the gun. A lot of people were super skeptical with the ergonomics of this gun. Like, oh, the front grip is so thin. I don't know if I like it. Until you actually hold this gun and play with it, you can't make that judgment because it feels great. I love the feel of the front grip being thin like that. It really accommodates your hands, I think. That's, again, personal preference. Let's go through and kind of take a couple things apart. Let's pull the bolt out. So here's our nucleus engine. Simple maintenance on it. They want you to put a little grease here. Let's see if I can pull this apart by hand. I might not. Oh, there it goes. It's going to unscrew there. They want a little bit of grease there. Grease on this. This is a U-cup O-ring on here. So all the dynamic O-rings that are inside here are U-cup O-rings, and they've had tremendous success with them where they're not even really replacing them at all. They just keep on running and running. All the static O-rings on the outsides that don't really move so much, they're using a standard O-ring. But these U-cup O-rings are really working great for them. A lot of people said, oh, it looks just like the Bob Long engine that was in there. It's really not. It does carry over some of the similarities to it, but it's a much more robust, much more resilient engine than you saw before. All right, well, I'm going to leave that out for a second right there. I'm going to wipe off my hands a little bit. So let's open up the grips so you can see what's going on inside here. We need this one. I'm going to pull both sides off. Another thing I always had an issue with on the older Bob guns was the grip screws never seemed to want to go in right. They always wanted to bind up or go sideways on you. These ones are going in and out, no problems right there. So if we look at this side right here, let me get a little pick-a-doo. So there's a little jumper right here, a connection point right here, and this is where you would plug in the LiPo battery if you were going to run the LiPo battery. Otherwise, your two AA's are up in here, and we'll pull those out in just a minute. But there is a switch right here, which you toggle up and down to switch between AA batteries and the LiPo battery. So if you're going to use the LiPo battery, you got to make sure you switch it to LiPo. If you're using the AA's in the front, switch it up into the AA setup right there. So we've got one wire coming down here, which if you're familiar with the other or any of the other Bob Long guns, you had many more wires coming down. All your eye wires were coming down. Everything was coming down in there. But you can see there's only one wire that's down in there right now for both sides. This is your solenoid wire coming around and connecting onto there, making it a much cleaner setup. And you know, how'd they get away with that? Well, the way a lot of people are doing it now. They're going with a lot of wireless connections that are on there, making it super simple to take things apart. Let's go ahead and pop the frame off real quick. Another thing that I always was unhappy about with the Bob guns was the trigger spring on the backside of the trigger. If you ever had to remove the frame, getting that trigger spring back in there was a nightmare. There were tricks to it, which obviously we all learned that had to do it a lot, but it was not fun. So there's pulling that off right there. We've got our air transfer sections and our solenoid mount and everything that's going on. You can see the connection is right here. So here's our upper board connector that just slots up against the side of that terminal right there. And that makes our connection between the two. So you can see where all the wiring is really not inside there. And again, our trigger spring hasn't fallen out, which is beautiful. You pull these off before, boing, trigger spring comes flying out of there, all sorts of stuff. So let's kind of look forward on this gun now. All right, so coming forward, you can see that there is a ribbon that extends from here. It goes underneath here, and that ribbon comes over and is gonna connect with our eye areas. Now, before I say our eye board or whatever, let me just show you what's going on here. So I'm gonna pull this eye cover off. We'll show you what is going on here. So here is our eye cover, and here is our eye board. You can see the board has no wiring on it. It is a press connect style setup. So here is our eye box, or our eye connector right here. It has little fingers that stick out, and they line up with these spots right along here. When they connect, they make the full circuit right there. So no longer do you have a screw going through the eye board to hold the eye board in place, plus wiring coming off the eye board that you have to funnel through there, and then another screw coming through the eye cover to hold everything in place. It's all gone. It comes stock with the 4C eye. That just fits right down on there now. And then when you put the eye back on, it pushes everything into place, makes the connection, and that's it. There you're done. So maintenance and cleaning are so simple. So you just pop it out, pop your eye out, not your literal eye, but the eye board, and there you go. There's your upper and lower eye. Super clean, super easy. Detents right inside here. We can pop those out. See, they're still using their nub style detent. Let's put that back in there. So very, very clean inside here, which is the way you should see things. Now, there is, what you want to remember, which if you just drop this down in here and set it into its housing, these pins will line up. There's 2 pins on the bottom here that will push or go through the 2 holes right here, so it'll hold it in place. In fact, you could take this and set it on there. That's why it stayed on there when I pulled it out the first time. Those 2 little pins go through the board. They just make sure it lines up. And there's a little rubber bumper inside here that pushes against the back side of the board gently to push it against the terminal right there. Really like that. Really, really like that. So let's just put that back on for now. All right, so here, our battery setup. So to take this off, you just need to turn a 1/4 turn in the arrow direction, and the battery door will just pop right out like that. To put it back in, you just push it back down in there. Push a little turn, bink, it pops it out. And you can see that when I turn this, well, maybe you can't see it, but there's 2 little ear tabs on here. When I turn it, the little tabs go in. That just unlocks it and lets it pop out. There is a, at least on the one I had. Yes, if you look at the bottom right here, it says front along the front side of this plug right here. So you may want to make sure you don't put this in upside down. So the front goes towards the front of the gun. And you pop that right in there. And 2 AA batteries down inside there. Now you can pull this out and you can move it around. You can adjust where it sits on there. If you want it to be closer, you can do that. Personally, I like it where it is sitting further away, so I don't really feel like there's a need to move that around. So, I mean, that's really up to you, however you want to do that. All right, that's easy to put that together. Let's go through the other side. We went through that over there. We'll do another video later on where I actually pull this whole front piece apart, because that does take a little, maybe we'll just do a video specifically on that part right there. But just going over the gun right here, we really don't need to get into there and take it apart. It just has our eye ribbon underneath there and how to move that front grip around. So you're not missing out on much right there. This gun, I love the way the other one shot. I can't wait to shoot this one because I think they shot phenomenally. I really recommend picking one of these up. I like the idea of having 2 different battery setups. You can go to the field, have a backup, or use this one and then have normal backups. Obviously, wireless connectivity is all the rage, and it's all what it's about right now. So these guns have it in spades. Let me get this back together so we can get this one back in its box. We'll throw it after I've got this all together with the bolt back in it, the grips back on. I have a scale here, so we'll put it on the scale. You guys are always like, oh, it looks like it's so big and heavy. It does feel a little bigger than some guns, a little heavier than some guns, but man, I miss the days when guns were a little bit bigger. I've got some older guns that I just enjoy shooting because they're a little bit heavier of a gun. They absorb that feeling. They just shoot smooth. All right, we're almost together here. Well, I forgot to tell you. I got to show you one more thing. Our on-off on the bottom here. So our on-off is on the bottom right there. And our regulator adjustment is on the bottom down there as well. So we put these in. So right here is our gas on-off, like that. And then right in front of that, which you might mistaken for the screw hole to mount the ASA to the frame right here, but it's actually our regulator adjustment. So you'll put your Allen key in there and adjust through here to adjust velocity through the gun. So there you have it. Let's put one of these together real fast. We'll put our barrel on. And we've got our scale right here. So gun with stock barrel, 2 pounds 5 ounces, 2 pounds 5.8, so almost 2 pounds 6 ounces, under 2.5 pounds right there. But man, it just feels good when it's in your hands. When you've got it, the grip I love. I know you guys are like, oh, the grip just seems too weird. I really like it, but that's me. Again, until you get it in your hands, don't pass any judgment on it. Get out there, pick up one of these guns, shoot at friends, do whatever you can to get one of these. They are fantastic. This is the new Force from Field One. Get yours at ansgear.com.